Hello kids, Daddy's here. Right now, Daddy will show you a French drama film from 1999, titled The Hairdresser's Husband. Prepare your snacks to feel the cringe and crunch. Be a good kid and subscribe to Daddy's channel. Spoilers ahead, watch out. The film begins with a 12-year-old boy named Antoine who loves going to barbershop because it runs by a beautiful Alsatian woman. Even when there is nothing left to cut, he still frequents go to the place just to spend a few cherished minutes in the chair admiring her large melon. One day at family dinner, his father inquires about his son's future plans. The oldest son discusses his desire as a civil engineer. Antoine, on the other hand, announces he will marry a hairdresser, for which he receives a slap from his father. Since that time, Antoine's desire to marry a hairdresser becomes the main thing in his life and he is unable to think of anything else. His dream, however, will not come true because the hairdresser passed away because of barbiturates. Many years later, a new barbershop has opened in the city, and a pretty young hairdresser girl named Matilda works there. Her boss gave her the shop after he retired. One day, an old gray-haired Antoine sees Matilda. Antoine enters the barbershop and asks Matilda to cut his hair, but Matilda tells him to come back in a half an hour because she waits for another customer. Antoine hides around the corner, observing the empty barbershop where nobody enters. After waiting for a half an hour, he enters and sits in the chair. As Matilda cutting his hair, he notices Matilda isn't wearing bra and begins to fantasize about Matilda's nipple rubbing against her blouse. During the process, Antoine unexpectedly proposes her without even knowing her name. He gets no response from Matilda. Before leaving, Antoine apologizes to her for his rudeness. Antoine spends his night under Matilda's window, who lives directly above the barbershop, thinking what she might be doing now. One day after cutting Antoine's hair, Matilda tells him if it was not intended as a joke or mockery, she will accept his proposals. Antoine feels like his childhood dream has at last come true. The couple then immediately sits down on the couch and begins to talk about their interests, their childhood, and future plans. Then they kiss for the first time. They soon got married at the barbershop with Matilda's former boss, his brother, and his wife present. His father passed away when he heard that Antoine had fulfilled his dream of marrying the hairdresser. They spend a short honeymoon on the coast near where Antoine spends his childhood. As Matilda washes a customer's hair, Antoine stands next to Matilda and plays with her vajayjay. Frequently after Antoine closing the barbershop, Antoine tastes Matilda's body. One day, a woman brings a screaming boy who won't have his hair cut into the barbershop. The boy's mother complains to Matilda that he was adopted and that she regretted it. In order to calm the boy, Antoine plays Arabic music and dances. His approach works, and Matilda can cut the boy's hair. Oddly, Matilda has frequently expressed her fear that Antoine will lose his attraction and interest in her. On occasion, she requests that Antoine hug her so tightly until she can't breathe. Antoine does not understand where his wife's fears come from as he always loved and admired her. In their years of marriage, the couple has only once ever argued, and it was over a ridiculous issue. Antoine smokes his cigarettes while being left alone due to the fight. After a short while, Matilda approaches her husband, and they make up. The couple then throws a little party for themselves. One day after the last customer leave the barbershop, the thunderstorm and heavy rain coming. Not wasting any time, Matilda sits in Antoine's lap and they begin making love. But she abruptly gets up and tells her husband that she needs to go buy something for dinner. She turns to face Antoine and appears to bid him farewell. Matilda runs to the embankment where the rain has raised the water and she jumps. There is a note for Antoine in her pocket when her body is recovered from the water. Matilda explains her action by saying that she is so happy to spend time with Antoine, causing her to afraid that the happiness she has experienced with him will end, so she ends it before the happiness gone. Every day Antoine sits in the barbershop looking at Matilda's chair. Suddenly, he receives a customer. Antoine offers to wash his hair. He then makes his way back to his seat and smiles, informs the man that the hairdresser is about to come. He just has to wait a little while. That's all for today, kids. Help Daddy by like and subscribe. See you on the next videos.